Okay, and welcome back everybody. Today we are going to be reviewing the Wild Badger 26cc straight shaft string trimmer. And it's been a while since I've reviewed product for Wild Badger, so it's about time, huh? This one is pretty neat because it's got this twist and feed head. This is a hard one to explain. So basically, when you run out of string, all you have to do is load the string straight through to the other side and twist this knob on the bottom, I think it said clockwise, to draw all the string in, and then you're ready to go, and then it operates as regular tap and go, and that's fantastic. The cutting with the guard on, the cutting swath is 16.9 inches. It's a 26cc. Let me come all the way over here to the motor. You can see here. Says there somewhere 26cc, and it is your standard 50-to-1 oil mix, gas to oil mix. It's a gas trimmer. And then here you have your rubberized handle, and then it has this universal shaft. It's a split shaft, so if you have attachments like I do from previous reviews, those attachments like a hedge trimmer or a chainsaw, or there's another one, they will all attach here. It looks like the same exact thing, but I'll test that a little later to see if we can get the hedge trimmer on there. Other than that, that is the brief look at it. I think at this point what we'll do is we'll go back and show you the way it's packed and all the parts that come with it and the very basic assembly. Okay, so here's the way it comes shipped. Now I was thinking that it was just going to be in there, right inside this box, but as it turns out, we have one of those box in a box situations. So let me get that box out of this box and then we'll open that box. Okay, so here is a look at the real box, in case anybody was curious. Certainly describes it quite well on the side. And there is that twist and load spool. We will certainly check that out. And so there's a look at the box. So let's look in the box and see how this comes packed. Let's see what we got here. Here we are. So here is the motor accessory pack. Let's just pull everything. I'm going to pull everything out of their bags and lay it all out on the table. Okay, here's what's really in there. You have your two main pieces. One shaft fits into the other. Remember to take these stoppers out. That is to be removed so that you can get the shaft in there. And the same thing with the cap on this side. People do ask. And then we have the instructions under there. And now they have the assembly instructions as well. And the regular basic startup instructions. Back here we have the guard. Looks really easy to attach. Okay, it's just the two screws. Yep, got two screw holes over there and two screws right there. That's how it goes on there. And then this is the optional brush cutting blade. Now there is some, I'm not going to really explain how to put this head on because it's the regular trimmer head is already on there. But when we switch to the brush cutting blade, I will probably refer back to this illustration and show you how to get that on there. And then just your handle, and then this is a harness that can go around your shoulder, and it will attach to this point right here in case you have trouble holding this for long periods of time working with it. And then it came with all the tools to put it together. So I think that the next scene is really just going to be it all put together because it's so basic, and then we'll take a look at it and we'll go use it. Okay, and there we go. We got it all put together. It was like really easy to put it together. Just two screws here holding on that guard, and the guides are right there. And two screws here holding on the handle. Now you can loosen those screws and move the handle up and down the shaft wherever it is that you want to put it. But very easy to assemble there. And this thing here that sticks off to the side is just held on by a Phillips screw, And I still don't know exactly what those are, but they kind of get in the way. And so in the next scenes, you'll see that I've taken that off, because I take them off of all of my machines. And I also won't be using the shoulder strap, because it's not that heavy. Anyway, at this point, I think that we will set up to do some actual weed whacking. It comes preloaded with string, and we're set to go. So let's find some weeds. Okay, yeah, so I decided to just take it right into the middle of the thick of the worst of it here. And it did it. It was no problem whatsoever. It is, it has as much power as my regular commercial machine. I normally run an Echo 225, which this is actually a bigger motor than that. And so that would explain why it's doing it. But I mean, the agility, the way I hold it, the way it performs is like the commercial ones. And I think this is really at a commercial grade. Anyway, it's very, very solid and very, very strong. Made short work of that. And so on the light applications and heavy applications, it's doing just like a regular, like my other commercial stuff. Very impressed, very good. At this point, I think that what we're going to do is we're going to transfer to the brush cutting blade. And so I'll show you how to get the head off of it and how to put that one on. Okay, so here we go with the head removal. I'm going to zoom in here. Got it upside down because I need you to see this hole at the base of it, because as you turn it around, you're going to have to line that hole up. If you can see inside there, there's only one hole on the inner part, and you have to line up the outer part with the inner part. And then you've got to take your hex key that came with it, and you put that in there. And what that'll do is that'll stop the head from spinning as you untwist it. And so let's see if my memory serves. I think that I need to spin no, it's clockwise, and then you can take it off. And there you go. Okay, so here we go. So the brush cutter blade came with these 3 pieces here, and I've done this before. So here on the instructions you'll see, if we can get it to show, if you look at the exploded diagram of how it wants to put that together, you'll see that the big dish-shaped piece there is not on the diagram. And I couldn't last time, and I can't figure out what you would do with that. So I don't think you're using that. You're just using these 2 pieces. And so I'll set that up now. Okay, so here we go. So the first thing you got to do, if you remember, is line up that hole again and get your Allen wrench in there so that it doesn't turn while you're trying to tighten down what is this time is going to be a nut. Then you take your blade, you put it on there. This piece, make sure that's on there. And it doesn't matter if you put it on this way or this way, because if you look at the sharpened part there, it's on the same side no matter what you do. And I know the key came out. So we got that back in there, and I'll hold that as we're tightening. And then you're going to skip that dish-shaped one, and you're going to take this one and put it on this side so that the bowl shape is face down, which is actually face up because the whole weed eater is upside down. And you'll see why. So it fits onto those little teeth there and fits flush around there. Then you put your nut on. If I remember correctly, it's going to be tapped backwards. So it is lefty tighty, righty loosey. And yeah, I saw it fall again. So at this point is when we're going to take the wrench that was provided with it. We're going to put the Allen wrench back in again. And we're going to hold it this time. And then we are turning to the left, which, if you know, you're usually tightening a bolt, you're tightening to the right. But weed eaters run to the right, and if these were tapped to the right, they would come off every time you used them. Tighten this down. And there we go. So that is on there really good, and now what we have is a really scary machine. Okay, so now what we have is a metal blade on a strong string trimmer, and it is now going to be capable of going through saplings, like you see all those oak saplings back there. But even more, it's going to be able to actually trim this palmetto. If you put it like sideways or any of this undergrowth that you see in there, it's going to be able to do that. And even down, these are oak branches that are just hanging low. I'll stick it on there too, see if it's going to lop those off, but I think it will. I have been able to trim with brush cutters of this power. I've been able to actually chop off saplings that are almost an inch thick, which is probably not recommended, probably about ½ an inch maximum. But I'm just going to try to clear this area in here. So I had done these close-ups so that you could see that we got saplings and palmettos and oak branches. And I'll just come back a little bit so that you can see me in relation to it and see it in action. So here we go. Okay, so there we go. You know, I really like brush cutters. This is, I'll get in close here so that you can see. Very easily took all those saplings out, but then it also took out the palmettos. Here's a good look at how well it chopped it all up. The thickest stuff that we went through here is about a 1/4 inch, maybe more like an 1/8, but it would have easily done a 1/4, and definitely been able to do a 1/2. And the palmettos, it kind of shredded them. But you would be able to, if you wanted to, you could stick it down in there and just keep working on it and get all the way to the trunk and make those look good, which I probably will. Anyway, I think that that's basically the rundown on this. It does not disappoint. It's very, very good, very strong, easily turns the brush cutting blade, which is important, which means that basically it's not going to have any trouble running the attachments, like the hedge trimmer and the chainsaw, because I looked, and the previous review that I had done for the 4-in-1 appears to be the same engine and the same top shaft. So that means that they definitely will work, and we don't have to do all that. But if you have those attachments, they're going to plug right in there, and you can use this head unit for other attachments. And that'll about do it. So there will be a link in the description and the top pinned comment to go purchase this, and I highly recommend it. I'm taking this out with me tomorrow mowing. I'll probably put in a whole day with it. It's that good. Alright, thanks for watching everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.